Boom. Evening, Cole. Evening, James. How you doing?
Evening. How are we all?
Hot, mate. Very hot. What about you?
Sweaty. Who's in their under? Come on, who's in their pants? Come on, own up.
Go on, Colin, own up.
I'm in my. Don't worry, Sheila. I won't stand up.
Thank God for that. We're safe.
Sheila's in.
Yep, she's in.
Sheila's in.
Sheila's in the house. Don't worry, Sheila. I'm sitting here in my pants, and I won't be standing up.
Well, exactly. There you go. Save us all the things, Cole. But welcome everyone to a very hot show in terms of content as well as weather. There we go. There we go.
Good. I like it.
We've got a good packed show tonight as well, haven't we?
And what number show is it?
Number 40.
Who'd have believed 39 shows ago we'd have been here today?
Still here, Cole. Like a bad smell. But a bad smell that knows what they're talking about when it comes to independent Don's content. There we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. Night then. I'm joking.
See you, everyone.
We've got a good show tonight. We've got a lot.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. Who knows?
So, I mean, going through what we're going to talk about tonight, obviously, we always start the show with a massive thank you to our sponsor, the Casbah, outside Gate 7 on a Saturday at home games. Really appreciate it, Kaz. Thank you for continuing to back us. We do appreciate it. We are going to talk about what was, because I was there and it was worth the 8-hour round trip, Cole, the Barrow away game. There is a lot to talk about.
Excellent. Really enjoyed it.
Brilliant game. But I don't want to give too much away yet, apart from
I think other than we won.
Other than we won, I think hopefully people know that. And I wasn't just a starving Marvin. There were another Marvin we'll talk about as well. But there we go. We're also going to talk about last night's Bristol preview as well. So, review, not preview.
Review.
Or we'll preview and review. We'll do both. There we go. I mean, again, we'll talk a bit more about that. But I thought we did all right, Cole. I thought we did all right. We'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we'll talk a bit about that.
We're going to talk about referees. We're going to talk about referees. 2 games, 2 referees, and we'll come on to that.
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, right. I'm just looking at the script.
Are you?
There we
go.
We are. We'll be talking about referees.
We'll be talking about
James is in the dark. He ain't got a script.
I know he's not. Well, that's what makes it fun, right? He's on the a cappella on the fly. We're going to do League Watch as well. I mean, something new that we're bringing to the show. But League Watch, we're going to talk about some teams in the league and what we think, and some of the bits. And we'll go a bit more into that. We're going to talk obviously a lot more about Crawley as well, because we've got the Crawley game next week, not just Cheltenham. Yeah. So we've got Cheltenham and Crawley. We don't have a Cheltenham fan on, but fear not, because I did have a Cheltenham review.
Cheltenham are playing tonight.
They're playing tonight. They are playing tonight.
That's why we haven't got a guest from Cheltenham. So
who did promise a video, but let us down on that. So not to worry, because Colin, I found someone in the know about these things who may or may not engage with other reputable streaming shows online. So he might have a bit of knowledge about it. So
it's not Scott Lindsay, is it?
Not Scott Lindsay, unfortunately, no. I'm surprised, but there we go. So a lot more besides, and obviously the most important thing we want to hear from.
We've got Luke Payne.
We've got Luke Payne. We've always got Chris Kamara, the Luke Payne interviews. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But before we go into all of that, we've got a few good evenings as well.
Yeah. Well, you do yours, and then James can do it.
Yeah, and then James can do. But quick off the draw was Matt. Evening. So evening, lads. Evening, Matt. Thank you very much for joining, mate. We had Chris as well. Said evening all. We've got Jack. Jack has joined us as well.
Jack, we haven't seen Jack for a little while, have we?
Not on the YouTube. So good to see you, Jack, and thanks for joining, mate.
Nice for joining us on YouTube, Jack. Thank you.
And where would we be without our plasma TV or LCD or LED these days? Big screen on the wall, watching Don's Unplugged live. Mr. Paul Franklin and Jane, obviously as well. He says, "Watch your fellas." The two only members of Don Supporters Club, Thrapston Branch. So there we go. Thank you.
Gate 7 Mafia.
Yeah, there we go. Good stuff. Well, no, thank you for joining, James. I will wing it over to you down there for some Facebook comments, if that's all right, mate.
Yes, we've got quite a few already. So Glyn says evening. Ollie says, oi, oi, Wednesday night is getting pucker now. How are we doing, legends, after last night?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Saturday, but we'll come on to that.
Sheila says, I'm ready and waiting. Kerry Ann says, everyone.
Evening, Kerry Ann. Evening, Sheila.
Matt says next sign. Yeah, Matt says next signing needs to be a left back, but who? But good evening, Matt.
Yeah.
Evening, Matt. Thanks for joining.
We'll deal with that in a little while. Yeah,
we can go on to that in a little bit. Martin says evening, and Grant as well says evening.
Evening, Grant. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining, everyone. And again, we'll have loads more comments as we go, and feel free to put your 2 pence, your 6 pence, your pounds worth in. That's what we're here for.
I mean, even if we're not talking about it, and there's something you want bringing up,
let us know.
Whack it in the comments on either Facebook or YouTube. We prefer you on YouTube
because we can whack it up on the screen. But as I say, James will keep calling them out from the Facebook as well. So, Cole,
go on.
Where to start? I mean, before we go into our review with Mr. Chris Kamara, Luke Payne, what did you think of the Barrow game? Were you surprised? I mean, I'll talk about obviously being there, but what was your thoughts? Because I know we were all a little bit like, well, it's going to be a tough test. We didn't say it was impossible, but given our track record, it wasn't looking great.
1 point out of 4 games, I was edgy. We never seemed to play well up at Barrow. We've been schooled up there a few times, but I thought we absolutely schooled them. I thought we kept them at arm's length. I really couldn't. I couldn't see anything wrong, really, other than that referee's decision, but we'll talk about that again in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
But, I thought we were good. And I'll tell you what, that first goal really showed it to me because you had Mendes-Lang, crossed it into, I forgot his name now, Patterson, who nodded it down for Gilby. But, I mean, the key there was Mendes-Lang and Patterson. Patterson is a giant in the middle of the box.
You know what?
He's a real danger. And, I think the jigsaw puzzle is almost complete.
Well, I'll be honest with you, mate. I mean, obviously, I went up there. I've got some friends in Barrow who are Barrow fans. I actually got, before and after the game, to go and sit in the home fan zone in the home end. Oh. So I did get to speak to quite a few of them, which was really nice, actually, and get some feedback and get, again, an independent thought on what they thought our team was like. So, I mean, before the game, they were quite confident, understandably. They thought that, maybe a 1-0 in it, a possible draw. That's kind of their viewpoint from before the game, because they sort of recognised we had some new players, and obviously it's still early days. They'd seen the Oldham result as well. And to be fair to Barrow, they had a good result on the first opening day of the season as well. So, we know from past, they're nobody's fault. And as I said to their fans, a lot of people come up here thinking it's an easy game. We know it's not. It's a hard place to come. The weather, the stadium, all the conditions always go against.
I mean, that takes out of people, doesn't it? Yeah.
Hell of a chance. I mean, for me, it's like 4.5 hours getting up there. Yeah. And I think for a few more, it was like 6 hours for some of the delays. So it was quite a journey. It was quite a journey. But good weather, good company. Enjoyed it. That said, when I went into the game, I'll be honest, like I said to you, I was hoping, like, as long as we don't lose, we've shown some progress. I was hoping for a win, Cole. I was expecting a draw. I'll be honest before the game. But I have to say, going into that game and seeing the players, we were at it from minute one. I mean, we were pushing, we were pressing. Yeah. And, even to be fair to Barrow, they were on the back foot most of that first half. First half. And to your point, I think Mendes-Lang really showed some great ability. I thought Hepburn Murphy's speed is like almost as ridiculous as Nemain, and I'll come on to him in a minute.
Yeah.
I thought again, both of them on the wings were brilliant. Obviously, there's a disallowed goal with Hepburn Murphy we could talk about. I don't think it was disallowed. People might disagree with me, but I just think that was the only person that appealed it was the one that was doing the back pass, Cole, ultimately. So we'll see, but. I think for me, it
wasn't a goal. It should have been a corner.
Well, exactly that. But I think for me, it wasn't just the fact that we won. It was the way we won. We dominated that first half. For me, the standout, I mean, Gilby, I thought was immense. I really did. But Patterson, and I've got to give a shout out to Patterson personally. Coming from the Championship, you do question sometimes, are they coming down just for a paycheck? This guy isn't. This guy is coming down. He means business. What I love about him is his physicality, his hold-up play, and his intelligence on the ball. It was clear to see. And, I mean, again, going back to the point for that Gilby goal, it wasn't just the fact of the goal, which was great. It was the hold-up play that when he got the ball and the physicality to keep that and get it to Gilby.
Yeah, really, he was in between 3 defenders as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it really, really impressed me, Cole. He really stood out for me.
Yeah.
And he took his goal well. I know there's a bit of a deflection, irrespective. It's not easy up there and to get 2 goals. But I will say, when Hepburn Murphy came off, obviously the main came on, and the question was, oh, here we go. He was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Some of those runs and crosses that he brought in, particularly for the second goal, I thought was immense. So what it shows you, Cole, is there are players there we had last season that we thought maybe question marks over. It's not really.
We've sat here and questioned the main several times.
Yeah.
Whether his heart was in it, because he'd do 1 or 2 good things and then he'd drift out the game. And,
Yeah. But for me, and I will say for me, it just goes to show when you've got someone else in that position that's raised the bar, it pushes the players to be better. That was clear. That was clear. So for me, and again, James, I'll come on to you as well, but I thought it was a cracking win. For me, I was impressed with the performance. The second half, to be fair, Barrow did come out of the traps raring to go first half of that second half. But again, slowly sort of went back and back.
I thought we kept them at arm's length all game, really.
We did. But you could see second half, they really came out to give it a go. And to be fair, fair play to them. But yeah, it was impressive to see how much we made it. I say made it look easy, but made it look professional and a clinical, simple win when it was far from that, Cole. Last season, we wouldn't have seen that. So I was really impressed.
I mean, I do have an element of, I don't know quite how to put it, really. Fairly sorry for Barrow. Their first 2 games of the season were Chesterfield and us. First and second favourites in the league. I mean, what an introduction to your season. I mean, I don't know they're playing this Saturday. Perhaps somebody will let us know. But
Notts County.
Notts County. Well, bloody hell,
yeah.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
So I will say, and I'll come on to James after the game. So I went for a few drinks with a few of my friends who are Barrow fans, to say, and I met a few other fans there as well. And they're all coming up to me saying, look, we've seen some teams come up here over the years and, we make it difficult. We know that we walked into that game thinking our record against you was good. And they said to me, hands up, if you play the way you play today, you will run away with it. That's their view. I'm not minded to say I think we'll run away, but I'd like us to run away with it, Cole, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But they were full of adulation. They thought the players that we got were absolutely a cut above anything they'd seen.
Well, they are really, aren't they? I mean,
But what for me,
it's been a long while. It's been a long while. We've had players of a decent calibre before. I mean, Crowley and Kelly last season. They came to us in a blaze of glory. Basically, did nothing. So it is quite not a pleasant surprise, but it makes you feel a lot more positive about
it does.
That we've signed these players on and they've come in straight away and they've hit the ground.
They have. And I will say, special mention, and again, we'll come on to James in the comments in a sec, but Marvin Ekpek-Teta, when he came on, I thought was brilliant. Absolutely phenomenal. By the way, there's a great song about him that was being sung most of the game. I'll let you see it, obviously, when we get to the home game this week. But he was smiling and laughing as well. So he enjoyed it. But, yeah, I mean, seeing him come on, to get him from Hibernian, the fact they've let him go, I am really shocked because his quality, again, it was only one game, but really stood out to me. Really, really strong defensively. Really strong defensively. And I thought, slotted in really well. Slotted in really, really well. Didn't feel like he'd been out, new player or anything. He just got in there and got on with it, Cole.
Well, how about a few comments from both of you on the social media side, and then I'll take a look at what Luke Payne's got to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we do that, James, your thoughts on the game, and then we'll go on to those. But what did you think of the Barrow game personally, mate?
Well, yeah, I agree with you guys. Last season, we go there, we're lucky to get a draw.
Yeah.
And I was sort of thinking, let's try and get something up at Barrow, but to come away with all 3 points was a lot more than I expected. So, yeah, seemed very pleased with that result, actually. Then that could, be a big result come the end of the season, actually.
A statement win, I called it.
That really could.
No, I go with that, James. As Colin said, I think it's a statement of intent to the rest of the league. They will look at that result and think it's not an easy place to go. Most people up there find it a tough one. So they'll sit back. And again, as I say, the Barrow fans coming up to us and just saying, your teams are cut above anything we've seen here. I think that spoke volumes to me. I was quite taken aback. I didn't expect the compliments, knowing who we are, and obviously they wouldn't take the mickey, but they just said, look, credit where credit's due. If you play like that for the rest of the season, I can't see anyone coming near. Anyway, as you say, back to the comments. There's a couple on the YouTube. So we've got Craig. Thanks, Craig, for joining. He said, evening all. Last night, so we'll come on to the Bristol game, proves just how much we need C-Mac in goal.
Yeah.
Interesting point. We'll come on to that one.
Yeah.
We've got evening all from Christian. Christian, thanks for joining. He said, better late than never. Good to see you all. Absolutely, better late than never. You can always catch up on YouTube if you've missed anything too.
Yeah, if you ever miss a show, we're always on YouTube.
Absolutely. And Jordan Martell said, evening all as well. So evening, Jordan. Thanks for joining. James, I'll whack over to you for some Facebook comments, and then we'll go on to the Chris Kamara, Barrow, and Bristol review.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of love for Big Marv. I don't know why, but the name Big Marv reminds me of one of the burglars from Home Alone. I don't know
James,
why. I think one of his names
on the comment of Big Marv, the song, and I'm going to talk it out because my singing after shouting on the weekend probably.
Oh, go on! I'm looking forward to this.
The song was, "My name is Marvin Ekpekteta. I hate Akin Fenwa. I play in Paul Ward's back line. And when I go out, people scream and shout, 'Oi, mate, what's your name?' And then the song goes around again." He loved it, and it was brilliant. I was in tears. Cracking song. But yeah, you'll hear a lot more of that at Stadium MK, and I think he's going to be a fan favourite as we go forward. That's for sure.
I think we're looking forward to it.
Go for it, mate. Carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of love for Big Marv. Ollie says, what a player for our defence. Hibernian dropped an absolute clanger selling to us, and going by some of their fans, they wanted Mr. O'Hora sold. So interesting. I've not heard that personally. Martin says, new man Marv D is a beast. And Ashley is watching. Good evening, Ashley. He's said, I'm still convinced that the ball didn't go out for the disallowed goal at Barrow. As from the angle from the away end looked to be in, but the camera footage is inconclusive.
Well, James, I will say on that, Ash was standing literally behind me, and we were talking about this. By the way, Colin was wearing his Don's Unplugged hat, so representing.
Good, that's what we like to see.
But yeah,
talking of Don's Unplugged hats,
go on.
We've got two people that have still got hats to collect.
They have this weekend.
So Mark Tymon's one, and somebody won it last week with Jam Donut. If you're not, but I can't even remember who it was. So if you're watching tonight, come on and let us know it was you, and I'll be at the Casbah from about latest 1:30. So come and see us down by the Casbah. You'll know who we are. We got Don's Unplugged hats on. So,
but yeah, I agree with Ash on that one. So to use a Nick Clegg strapline, and I agree with Ash, not Nick. I agree with Ash. I thought it was a goal. I didn't think it was out. And again, just another shoddy decision. We'll come on to refs in a minute, Cole. But you carry on, mate.
Is James still awake?
I think we lost
says
him.
Again.
Oh, he's there.
Oh, he is awake.
I'm still here. No, I'm still here. Grant says Big Marv was a beast at Bristol, quick and aggressive. I would agree with that. Martin says, even though we got beat last night, the support was brilliant for the team, as we also
a lot of praise for us on social media.
So I would agree with that.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
George makes an interesting point. Yeah, George makes an interesting point. With the depth of quality in the squad now, the performance of Lecco was disappointing, and now surplus to our requirements. He has a flash of brilliance, but no end product.
Interesting, because I mean, again, the end of last season, we were all saying about how we want to keep him because he's got the potential there. But again, now you've seen the signings that are coming in and the luxury of having some money to spend for the first time. Does it actually make him look overrated last season? Do we think that he's still got the ability? Questions for the rest of you in the Dons universe out there to answer. But I don't know. I mean, I think there's a player in there somewhere. We've seen it. I think he deserves a bit of time, but we'll see.
I think we're very little to cling to last season. He was a bit of he was a glimmer of light, wasn't he? And and now he's probably going to be overshadowed a little bit. Hi, Luke.
Evening,
Now
Lynn.
we've got
Hello.
now we sorry. Now we've got these new players. He's probably going to be, not, so much first shot. I mean, why, all right, Luca. While we're talking about players, probably something struck me. Charlie Waller last night looked very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I can see Charlie Waller. I mean, as we know, we got Crowley back, we got Hogan back, and we got
Evening, Kendall. Thanks for dropping in on
Crowley.
the lunch break.
Yeah. So, so now we're getting all these players back. I just got the feeling that Charlie Waller's going to struggle to get game time, and I think it might be the ideal opportunity before this window closes to farm Charlie out and send him out on loan. Get him a little bit of confidence. Get him a bit of game. He ain't going to get a lot of game time, I don't think, anyway. And I know we feel passionate about academy players, but Charlie, I think he should go out on loan. That's my view.
Well, again, Cole, this is the thing, right? Now we're getting strength in different areas. I think maybe again, I think Paul Warner will be looking at all of that, and if the right move comes along, I think look, they're players for the future for sure. Whether they stay in the
definitely.
The ability's there, and we want to see them come through. But
I mean, I'm not sure how young Charlie Waller is, and
I think he's 19, 20 from memory.
I just think he needs. He needs a top end National League team to give him a bit of confidence.
Yeah, I wouldn't go against that, Cole. And again, we've seen players go out on loan and come back better for it. So who knows? Who knows on that one? But I think as you say, overall, the squad is building nicely. We'll talk about obviously ingoings and outgoings again a little bit later on in the show. But from what I've seen at Barrow, from what I saw at Oldham, I wasn't at the Bristol game due to work commitments, but I thought Oldham game is always going to be tough. They've just been promoted. They don't want to lose.
I think we underplayed them a little bit. Not at the team, but probably the team to some degree. But I think we should have expected Oldham were going to be such a hard team to break down.
They would be.
They're on their worst time to play them, mate. A lot of them on their EFL debut, no doubt. I mean, I know there was a few players that have played in the EFL before that have gone to Oldham, but I think we'll probably look at that at some stage and think that our point weren't too bad and all the rest of it. And if we win on Saturday and we win on Tuesday,
who knows, Cole?
Who knows?
Anyway, I will jump to our plain match review, even.
Okay.
For Barrow and for Bristol, so he's going to give us a review of those, and then depending on where we are after that, we might talk Crawley first. We might talk Cheltenham. So
okay,
run VT.
Run VT. Let's go.
Right, so we've got another 2 games to cover. We've got Barrow away, and we've got the Bristol City Cup game, which was also away. Now, I must preface this by saying I wasn't at either of these games. I saw the last 10 or 15 minutes of the Bristol City game just coming home from work. But outside of that, I'm looking at the extended highlights, I'm looking at the interviews, and I'm going off of that. So let's kick things off with the Barrow game, and obviously vital to get that first win on board, and the fact that it's at Barrow where we have, never won. Obviously, it was only the 4th time I've played them, but even so, it's not great that it took us 4 attempts to beat Barrow, but we've finally done it, and we've done it in a pretty convincing fashion, actually. Obviously, it took us a little while to get the first goal. There was that whole controversy with Hepburn Murphy's disallowed effort, which to me looked like it should have stood, just judging by the way that the defence and goalkeeper all carried on playing and didn't try and appeal it, and the fact that the only guy that did appeal it was the guy that made the mistake with the pass back in the first place and didn't bother tracking back, so was probably just trying to make up for his own error. I digress. But beyond that, I actually thought it looked pretty good. Statistically, it looked pretty good as well. I do still have concerns over the number of crosses we're we're generating in comparison to the number of completed crosses we have. I feel like that percentage has been very low across all 3 games, and I'm hoping that'll be something we get better at over time. But then the bright light, for both games, to be honest, Callum Patterson, at least from what I could see from my limited window of seeing these games, I mean, it's just the way he just, well, it's just the only way I can describe Callum Patterson is he feels like a perfect fit for League Two. I know he was saying in his post match that he feels like he's still adjusting, but he's the perfect combination of traits to be a League Two striker. He's obviously very hardworking, runs all over the place, which is great, absolutely fantastic. But it's the physical side as well. You know, being able to hold up play, win these flick-ons, like he did for Gilby's goal. The fact he's got a good finish in him to obviously get the second goal as well. And then you add all of that, and you add in the long throw as well. It just culminates to become a top League Two forward. And I think perhaps he's a signing. Well, we knew he was a big signing, but maybe he could be bigger than we realised. You know, he's such a fantastic focal point for this team. And even just in the final few minutes of the Bristol City game, I think that became clear as well. I will touch on the Bristol City game. Like I said, I haven't seen too much of it. But just speaking on the result, I think it's one that we can be happy with. Obviously, it's a loss, and no one's happy with a loss. But you know, they only made 5 changes from the side that beat Sheffield United very easily at the weekend. Meanwhile, we made 9 changes, so I think they showed us quite a lot of respect, and that's quite telling as well. And the fact that we kept the scoreline low, having rotated that much, I'd say that's a reasonable job done. I know there were some concerns over a couple of individuals, but then at the same time, that I'm not too bothered with a game like this, just because, you know, these guys, these Bristol City players are 2 divisions higher. You know, if our players were beating them that easily, or you know, putting in perfect performances against that sort of caliber of player, they probably wouldn't be playing for us, despite the amount of money we've got. Let's be real, Bristol City are one of the top teams in the Championship. So 2-0, absolutely fine by me. I think there's lots to look forward to coming into the Cheltenham game. They're yet to score this season, I believe, and I mean, away from home against Cambridge on the opening day, they were awful. They were really bad. How that game was only 1-0, I don't know. So this is a great opportunity for us, and maybe we'll see if anyone gets back into the side. We've obviously got our Thompson back. We've got Hogan back. Potentially Crowley, although he didn't get on the pitch, did he? So maybe that one's a little bit further away. Plus the new signing of Ekpiteta, whose name I've probably just said wrong. But no, I think there's plenty of positive signs and lots to look forward to. Come on, you Dons.
I've got no sound.
You got sound now?
No, I've got sound now.
Yeah, now. Here you go. All right. I think because James jumped out of the chat and it threw it off. Let me bring it back. I know he had internet problems, so we'll bring it back again. What show wouldn't be a Don's Unplugged show without some kind of technical difficulty, Cole?
Yeah, it's usually me, but you may have noticed.
It was James. There we go.
Well, someone's upset our internet provider, so.
Oh, right, okay. Oh.
Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. It's all good.
Never goes down well.
No, but I think, as you say, look, as always, I think Luke always had some real good context and a really good bit of.
I thought you spoke well.
Yeah, I did, and I mean, again, we'll come on to the Bristol game. Obviously, I wasn't there. I watched it on the TV. But what was your thoughts, Cole, of the game overall from what you saw?
I'll tell you what. I mean, I can't say his name. Marvin
Ekpiteta, yeah.
The speed of that guy.
Yep.
And like Ollie Welsh said earlier, signing in from Hibernian, yeah, all right, okay. I thought, bloody hell, that is some signing. I mean, I don't know what Ibs thought about him, but and like I said earlier, the jigsaw puzzle feels like it's almost complete. I'd say probably a fullback, left back probably, and I think we're set, mate. We're set up for the season. Come on, get down to Stadium MK. We're going up.
Not that Colin's getting carried away already, but
no, not at all.
In all seriousness, mate, I think
I got me cigar ready. We're all right.
I thought the game against Bristol yesterday. I said I think before the game, I thought we were going to get spanking, to be quite honest, because you looked. I mean, to be fair,
I didn't. To be fair,
no. I mean, look at their game on the weekend against Sheffield United.
Yeah. But I thought they'd rest a few players.
Yeah, and to be fair, I thought they showed us respect. They did 5 changes. We had 9.
Yeah, and they reinforced the team at half time.
They did. Although I will call out when they scored their first goal, I did see Scott Twine celebrating a little bit. So I wasn't impressed.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with that. But anyway, that's just me being sentimental, Cole, no doubt. But no, look, I mean, 2-0, like I said, I thought we gave a good account of ourselves. I thought at times we showed some good quality. I think the defence was a little bit shaky.
My only concern was Charlie Waller.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it was a bit shaky, but then again, it's against a championship side.
I know. Thompson bailed him out a couple of times, didn't he?
He did. But I'll be honest with you, I thought their second goal was not quite a worldie, but wasn't far off. I mean, it was a hell of a goal. I don't think anyone would have saved that. The first one, could we have done better? I mean, if you're going to be uber critical, maybe, but I thought overall, walking away from Bristol City with a 2-0 defeat,
mate,
gave a good account of ourselves.
When I looked at the game, I thought, don't get embarrassed. And I don't think 2-0 is an embarrassment against the champion side.
No.
And don't pick up any injuries. And to me, that was the priority. And then I looked at the team, and I saw like Nathan Thompson, Hogan, and Crowley were all involved. And I thought, bloody hell, we're not far away, mate. We're not far away.
And that's the thing. When people were talking at the start of the season, we needed a few more. We had people coming back from injury. But question, James, I don't know if you saw the game or the highlights. Hogan, what was your thoughts, given the fact he's been a little bit up and down last season, and we've had a bit of interesting discussion over the last few shows about him. What's your thoughts?
Well, there's a player in there. We've seen that, but is he going to be starting week in, week out for us? I'm not so sure.
No, I agree.
No, I agree. I mean, Cole, your thoughts on it? My thoughts is the same as last season. I think there is a player in there, but it's the attitude. If the attitude was right, he wouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, there was that game he played up to the fans, didn't he? And he got a bit leery, and that's obviously tainted people's view of him. To me, when he gets his opportunity, he's got to take it. And
100%.
And I agree with James. I don't think he's going to start. Not unless we got injury problems, but I think Patterson's going to be starting man while Collins is out. And and ironically, didn't I say to you on the preview show weeks ago that I would make a prediction that one of our new signings, one of our top men, would get injured early on?
You did. Christian raises a good point. You're talking about Waller, but he said no sign of Tripp either recently. He's been another youngster that needs game time and experience online. Yeah, I agree 100%, Christian, on that. Again,
you're right, Christian.
I like Tripp. I think he's a player, definitely one for the future. And what I saw of him last season was pretty good. So I hope he gets an opportunity on loan somewhere.
National League again. National League. Let's not loan players out to bloody lower end League 2 teams. Let him go to the National League. We don't want him, helping anybody out in our division.
Well, I mean, it depends.
Unless he wants to nod a few in the back of his own net.
I don't know. It depends who it is. But I mean, look, again, National League is still a decent level of football. You look at some of the squads in and the money they've got. Carlisle, you've got, obviously there. You've had York. York has spent a lot of money last season. And to be fair, I've watched a few games here and there, and the quality, the standard is getting a lot better than it used to be. That's for sure. That's for sure. What's this? Hold on, we've got another one here, James. from Craig. He says, anyone else
Yeah.
see the spooky shadow face on James's screen?
No,
There
I
is
can,
one
confirm,
here.
I can confirm that is my fan.
That's your fan, as in what? The
Yeah.
spooky ghost is your fan, or it's an actual fan?
It's an actual fan, but we can go spooky ghost as well.
There you go, Craig. It's not just the Don's Unplugged.
I'm glad you cleared that up for
Yeah.
me, Craig, because I was
I'm going
seeing
to move
that.
it away.
Yeah, I thought it was some sort of like bust, some
You
figurehead.
can
Or
still
something.
see it.
Yeah, it's fine, James. As long as you're cool, mate. That's the main thing.
Just about.
But yeah, not a Don's Unplugged ghost yet, Craig. But who knows? There's still time on this show. Anything can happen. Yeah, Harry said Hendry out the door. Yeah, I mean, again, we heard I think last week or the week before now, Hendry's on the transfer list. And again, times change, things change. I get that, but a player I liked. He's got a good work rate and a good ethic, and it's just as a generally a really nice guy when you speak to him as well. So I'm a little disappointed that he's on the transfer list. But again, you've got to have faith in Paul Warne. He knows what
We can't keep everybody, mate.
No, of course
No.
we can't. Of course we
He's
can't.
another one. Is he going to get in the team?
Exactly.
Who are you going to put
You
him
know
in
what?
front of?
Well, I don't
we're in an enviable position.
Yeah, we are. But I mean, again, for me, again, maybe it's sentimentality, but for his work rate, I think he's a player I'd have on the bench, just as a utility player. But again, that's probably not fair to him. I think he deserves to go and find a club where he can have first team football. And best of luck to him. Again, just again, been a great servant in the short time we had him, put in a lot of effort when he did come on the pitch. So I've got to thank him for that, if nothing else. Anyway, Cole, we have got a special guest in the green room I was going to say from the what is the direct road being built between two clubs, because it feels like Crawley and MK Dons have got a lot of connections.
It's almost like a circular conveyor belt, isn't it?
It is. But again, I've got a lot of time for that. And
Cheltenham are beating Exeter 1-0, by the way.
What, beating them 1-0? Okay, good stuff.
They're beating them 1-0. 42 minutes gone.
Okay, good stuff. So I think if you're all right, I think we'll do it a bit back to front. We won't talk about the weekend. We'll talk about Tuesday's game with our guest, if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, well, I'll bring him in. So again, say Sam Jordan, who's come on from Crawley Town. So Sam, thank you so much for taking the time to join us on Don's Unplugged. Really appreciate you jumping on. And
can you get rid of that shirt, Wembley 24?
They're there for a reason.
No, really.
I'm
wearing a Crawley shirt tonight.
Dear. I wanted that lawyer to take you to notice it.
There we go. Let you go, Colin. You can see it probably now. There we go.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But no, I mean, look, fair play. And again, Sam.
Move that way a bit.
Yeah. I know, fair play. I mean, Sam, what I would say is, look, I mean, obviously there's lots of things we can talk about. There's a lot of connections between the two clubs these days. Which is, I actually think, quite nice. I've always had a soft spot for Crawley, and obviously the players that we've come from us, and obviously I know we've had players that you've come to us, gone back to you, managers, etc. as well. But before we get to that, again, going back to the last season and obviously that Wembley day out for yourself. I mean, I'll take you.
We're not talking about that.
No, credit where credit's due, Cole. I will say this.
I'm still emotionally scarred.
In the words of the French Resistance on a lower low, as you remember, I will say this only once.
Right,
but we were absolutely schooled in both of those playoff games. We were. And I take my hat off.
I came home without no pants on.
Well, exactly. But I take my hat off to Crawley because I thought that was a lesson how to do it right.
Bloody right.
But yeah, I mean, Sam, take us back to that Wembley final. I mean, obviously, when you got there, first of all, were you expecting to even get into that position? And then, what was that feeling of getting promoted in the way you did? How did that feel?
Yeah, I mean, we nicked in the playoffs on the last day, and then obviously we were due to play you guys Bank Holiday Monday, weren't we? And it was called off because of the torrential rain, which I think obviously we won't dwell on that too long, but I don't think that obviously helped you guys. And I remember you guys actually decided to stay down here. I heard stories about how the players didn't have spare underwear and things like that. So I wonder how much that impacted MK for the second for the rearranged game the day after. But kind of when the third goal went in at home, I was like, wow, we're actually going to do this. And then obviously as the days build up to the second leg, obviously Doncaster kind of threw away their lead, didn't they, against Crewe the night before. And then we go, oh no, this could happen. We could throw it away. But I thought what was so good about the second leg was how we just came out, we scored straight away. And then obviously we go on to obviously to break the record for the playoff aggregate win, and it was like a party. But
Really, I didn't know that.
but it was just the play. It was surreal, really, to do it in that. If someone said to me, "We'd win the playoffs 8-1," you just go, "You're all right. What are you taking?" So, and then the final, I was really nervous because I was so excited for the day out and kind of hadn't really thought about the game until the day. And actually, we've got a game to win now, and no one wants to go to Wembley and lose. And yeah, it was fantastic because obviously Crawley never played at Wembley, 17,000 people there, and you talk about Crawley's EFL history. It's only since 2012 been in the EFL.
Yeah.
So to get to Wembley and then obviously win promotion as we did, it was fantastic. And it's interesting because I remember on the day, VAR, we were 1-0 up and we could see the penalty and VAR overturned it. And I remember Scott Lindsay in the press conference before the game saying he didn't want VAR, but had we not had VAR, we potentially could have conceded and it'd be 1-0 and we might not have had our season League One last year. So yeah, look, the playoffs were unbelievable. I kind of fear if you ever get in the playoffs again, people are just going to expect to replicate that.
Anyway, talk us through your relegation.
You're a cool man, Colin Butler. You're a cool man.
Something up the road nicked our manager.
Well, I was going to say, Sam,
we give him your bag.
Yeah, I think this is the interesting thing for me because I mean, again, we'll come on to that because I think, like as I say, obviously you got promoted, Mike Williamson left, and obviously then we went into Scott. Scott came to us, started really well. I have to say, started really, really well. Brought obviously a few Crawley players over the line as well, which, for whatever reason, come sort of December, just seemed to fall apart. Absolutely fall apart. I mean, again, I don't think this season we're starting to see it, but we never really saw the best of Kelly and a few others, if we're honest. Which was a surprise to us, given what we'd seen in the playoffs and what sort of he was instrumental.
Kelly destroyed us.
Absolutely,
and we were saying, have you got another bloke called Kelly, and that you gave him to us, and you kept the real one? You know what I mean? Because the bloke was horrendous, mate. The abuse he was getting. But I've got to say, this year, with better players around him, he's come at the fore. He really has.
Yeah,
He's been
and he's keeping Will Collar out of the team as well, isn't he? So
yeah,
he is. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, this is the interesting twist because football always is about twists of fate. But obviously, when it went wrong, it took a while. But eventually, obviously, we and it's parted ways with Scott. Unfortunately, these things happen. But what I found odd is because I think as fan base, we were calling for it quite a few weeks before because it just felt like this was just becoming painful to watch.
Well, he went strange, didn't he? He went strange, didn't he?
He went, I mean, some of the interviews, you ever look back on it, Sam? I mean, some of the
you look back at his interviews and you think, what the?
It was like, well, we picked the wrong team. Well, you picked the team, or we didn't train the right thing. So it was odd towards the end. It was odd towards the end. But what I found interesting was, and maybe this is just me, and you can talk me through this, but if perversely we'd have sacked Scott Lindsay a month earlier, I think Crawley would have stayed in League One because the way he came back to you was like the second coming of Christ. It was phenomenal. I mean, talk us through that. That League One season, obviously, you were really struggling. You were down in that relegation zone. What was it? Do you feel like there's just that connection that Scott's got with Crawley? Did you feel it was a pick-me-up that you needed at the right time? What was it?
I think going into League One, it was Scott's team, wasn't it, from the League Two promotion win season, won our first two games. And then I'm not sure he was too happy with some of the decisions in the window just before he left in obviously September. And he left in September just after the window shut. And I think he kind of wasn't happy with what happened in the window and thought, have I got enough to keep this team up? And obviously took the opportunity at you guys and it didn't work out for whatever reason. And I absolutely agree with you. If he'd stayed a bit longer either end or come back earlier, I think he would have kept us up. And we won our first two games and won our last three games. And the 41 games in between, we only won 7 of them. And you can't win 7 of 41 and expect to stay up. So, Scott's got an affiliation with Crawley. His first season, he came in and kept us in the Football League. And then his second season, then got us promoted and then started okay in League One. He said he made mistakes at MK that he's obviously learnt from. So it'd be interesting to see they are in the future.
We can
be
confirm
what
he
they
did
are.
make mistakes.
but I also feel for Scott in a way, because you think of all the investment you guys had this summer. If he'd been kept and been given that money, you never know. And obviously you've got a really experienced manager in Paul Wall now, but you never know what he could have done with that. So yeah, Scott's great. Football's fantastic. It's very brave. Play on the deck, etc. As you guys would have seen. But yeah, I remember we lost at Huddersfield. I think it was 3-1, and that was Rob Elliott's last game. And then in the middle of the night, one Thursday into the Friday before home game against Bristol Rovers, he got reappointed. We won that game, and I thought at the time we're not going to get there. And in the end, we went down by 1 point. And I remember Hepburn Murphy, believe it or not, missed an absolute sitter at Birmingham, and we drew 0-0. And I remember as he blazed over the bar, I thought if we'd scored that, we could have had a chance, because we went to win our last 3 games. So, yeah, I mean, look, we went into that season not ready, and we finished 4th bottom against there's some really strong teams. I mean, look at the teams that even got relegated: Cambridge and Bristol Rovers. They'll be strong this year as well. So, yeah, we punched above our weight in League One. Enjoyed it. We won at Charlton. Remember, we were going to Charlton Tuesday night, winning at Charlton, and look where they are now. They're flying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, great to have Scott back. Obviously, Nick J. Williams off you boys as well, who appreciate he didn't really set the world alight at you guys. But
He never did, mate. You always felt he was a red card in waiting.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think some players fit managers, don't they? And Scott absolutely loves him. He's the vice captain, and he's a warrior in that midfield. And for whatever reason, it didn't work out. But yeah, I'm not sure. He hobbled off last night at Swansea, so I'm not sure whether he'll be fit for Tuesday. But I know, but he'll be obviously bang up for next week, won't he? And obviously Scott will be bang up for next week as well. There'll be lots of players bang up for it. Hepburn Murphy returning, obviously Liam Kelly returning as well. So it'll be a tasty game next week. But yeah, we're really pleased to have Scott back, and obviously haven't started the season very well, losing the first 3 games, but a lot of new players, and I'm sure will come good in the end.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, Sam. So, with the first 3 games, because again, when they came down, obviously Scott there, I'm thinking he's going to hit the ground running. Because to be fair, as much as it was horrible for you at the end of last season, you kind of finished on a bit of a crescendo.
Yeah, end on a high. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, what do you think's gone wrong in those first 3 games? Do you think it's the team? What happened there?
He relies on wing backs quite a lot, and most of our wing backs are injured, so we're playing players who aren't necessarily suited to playing wing back. And when you play like we do with 3 centre halves and wingers who get up and down, and we haven't got those at the moment, that's a big miss. And we just didn't turn up at Grimsby. That's probably the worst performance I've seen in at least 2 or 3 years at Grimsby. And Grimsby were good, to be fair, and they'll be up there, but we were absolutely dreadful. And even Scott said that after home game against Newport, Keith makes a mistake and they go 1-0 up after he missed a few chances. Last night I didn't think we played that badly at Swansea. I think the team will come good. I think the performances have got slightly better as we've gone on. And it'll be interesting because we go to Crewe Saturday, they've won their first 2, and obviously you've got you guys. I haven't seen the goal yet in the league. So, yeah, I think Scott's teams take time to gel. And I think he does need time, albeit...
That word, gel.
Yeah, albeit, but as we know in modern day football, we don't get time to gel, do you? So there's instant results. Like, the interesting at Crawley this year, for the first time with Scott at the club and Scott and the owners have both come out and said we're going for a promotion push, whereas before it's been little old Crawley underdog. So we've kind of put a bit of pressure on ourselves and a bit of fan expectation now. So to start the season as we have is disappointing.
I think when you went up, you beat us in the playoffs, weren't you favourites to be relegated?
Yeah, that season, yeah. We've been favourites to be relegated every season. The last 3, not this one, not this one, albeit about mid-table. I think the odds were this season for us, but yeah. So there's some good teams in this league. I reckon we'll probably finish mid-table, maybe just about top half. But we've got some tough fixtures coming up. Really tough start to the season, really, especially after not beating Newport at home when we really should have put 3 points in the bag there.
Now you've been taken over, I believe, by KB Sports, or it's in the process or nearly concluded.
Yeah.
Your co-owner resigned in protest, I believe.
So Wagme United were the owners for the last 3 years. Raphael Khalili, who was the man behind bringing Scott back in March, was part of Wagme. Scott only came back because of Raf. He didn't want to work under the owners that he'd obviously left for you guys under. So Raf's kind of the man with the money now behind the scenes under the KB Sports Leisure umbrella. So yeah, lots of improvements around the ground, which is fantastic for you guys. We've got an away fan zone now for the first time, so everyone get a beer before before and during the game at half time, which we haven't been able to do before since. So that's really good. Obviously, revenue stream and obviously good experience for the away match goers as well. So yeah, Scott's come back because of Raf and those around him. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. Raf paid for the squad to go to Spain for a week.
Yep.
I think you guys were out there at the same time.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. So fans feel positive about the ownership change, albeit obviously the start of the season hasn't been great. But they've been a lot more transparent and come out and they're business people. And a lot of people trust Scott because of what he's done for us, and Scott's come out and said some positive things about the owners. So yes, so we'll see what happens.
You get the general feeling you're going to ease yourself into it this year.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we were 15th in February when we got in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, the 15th is a long way off. Yeah, we're 15th. So and obviously we're not even 3 or 4 games in yet. So I'm not too worried. And look, every single season as a Crawley fan, I never expect to get promoted. So even though Scott and the owners said, I still don't expect it. So if we're 10 points off the playoffs with 10 games to go, I'll be happy because we've still got a chance. And I think League Two is so open this year, really, as it has been the last few years, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You boys obviously throwing the money about and are the favourites, but it doesn't always come good, does it?
Not
and
so.
obviously,
no. Well, we've never had money before, so it's a bit of a novelty.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I think, talking about sort of money and players from a Crawley perspective, the summer signings you've had, obviously Tish Mango used to play for Dons back in the day, but I mean, how has he fared from what you've seen in Crawley so far?
Yeah, he missed a sitter in the first 2 games, and Scott was quite. He didn't mention him in the post-match interview after the Newport game, but you kind of tell he was referring to him, was quite cutting of him. But he scored last night, albeit just kind of accidentally hit and went in. But hopefully that'll be a confidence boost. He's playing up front. He's playing up front on his own, which I think is tough sometimes at this level, especially playing against 2 centre halves. So, yeah, he's Scott's obviously invested in him and wants him to play. He's started all 3 games so far. So, yeah, we'll see how he gets on. But I do feel we lack some goals this season at the moment.
Yeah, I think like last season he was on loan at Swindon. There was 11 goals in when he was there. So hopefully more to come. Hopefully more to come for you guys from there. But obviously the return of Jay Williams we've talked about. But who else in that window has really stood out for you, Sam? Is there anyone particularly that you think, yeah, that's a really good signing that you've sat up and thought, yeah?
Yeah, Carl Scott. It's interesting because Liam Kelly was linked with us throughout the whole summer, wasn't he? Coming from you guys, and we never really signed him. We signed Carl Scott from America, and he's definitely a Liam Kelly type of player. And we've been linked with him for the last few windows. So I think kind of he was probably our number 1 target. And if we didn't get him, maybe we're going to try and go for Liam Kelly. Albeit obviously now he's a mainstay in your team so far this season. But yeah, he's really good on the ball. He didn't play last night. I think he was rested, but he plays alongside Jay Williams, just in front of the back 3. So I think from what I've seen him so far, he's got potential to be better than Liam Kelly, which if he is, fantastic. So I think we've found a bit of a gem there from America. So I think he'll do really well. None of the other sides have really massively stood out from last season. We've got Josh Flint back, who was out for the majority of the second half of last season in the back 3. Tall left side central defender who's really good. And obviously Charlie Barker, Richie's son, plays on the other side as well. So that'll be another interesting matchup on Tuesday. Yeah. Richie's son, obviously Rotherham were linked with him during the window. We didn't go. And I was actually quite surprised Richie didn't come in for him. Because he's only 21, he played 37 games last year, and he's really good. He's good in the tackle, he's aggressive, good in the air, so he can play in several positions. So that'll be interesting in the Barker household, won't it, in the build up to that game. I'm sure Scott's told Charlie to keep his mouth shut for a few days.
And how do you see the game going on Tuesday night? What's your feeling?
I think it'll be interesting because if we lose Saturday, we go into it with no points, and I think it'll be a bit.
Sorry, who are you playing on Saturday, Sam?
Crew away.
Oh, so bloody hell, really?
Yeah, albeit they've only 2 games in, but obviously they're top of the table. I think there's so much on Tuesday's game because potentially we might not have any points by that point. You've got obviously all the names we talked about returning, and I think Tuesday night under the lights, can Jay Williams keep his head? Is Scott going to keep his head on the touchline? Is someone going to kick Hepburn Murphy up in the air? Is Jay going to smash Liam Kelly early doors. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good game because.
So there you go. Buy your tickets, Dons fans. Get down there.
I think it'll be, and then you've got the Charlie Richie Barker factor. There's so many bits in there that are good.
Yeah.
Will Collar's family live in Horsham, which is like 6 miles from Crawley, so local game for Will's family. I think I've predicted. I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. I just think there'll be goals in it. I think there'll be probably a few yellow cards, maybe a red card thrown in. I did wonder if Scott might not actually play Jay, just because you'd be worried about him losing his head. But we had one of our midfielders sent off last night, 3-game ban, so I'm sure Jay will be definitely playing now.
Right, yeah, you had, is it Holohan or something?
Holohan, yeah. He actually didn't start. He started our first 2 league games and then was rested last night, but came on and got sent off for a straight red tackle, yeah. It wasn't a red card in my book, but yeah.
Yeah, I read it was a bit unfortunate. Do you think they'll appeal it?
I respect so. I'd expect them to appeal it. It's one of those where the angle wasn't great on TV. Seeing it live, I was really surprised when the red card came out, and I just thought it'd be a yellow. But yeah, apparently it was quite high, but I don't think it was. And he's not that sort of player either. Sometimes when Jay goes in like that, you can understand why the red card comes out. But
you're almost wincing before he makes contact.
Yeah. Exactly. And I can imagine. I'd love to be in the tunnel before the game. I'm sure Jay will be winding you boys right up as well. I'm just going to be a Jay Williams fan cam, I think, for the 90 minutes.
Well, my memories of being down there last time weren't that brilliant, so I should be there on Tuesday night. Hopefully, they're a lot better. So, are you going, Aidan?
No, I'm hoping to. Depends on work, but yeah, I'm hoping to be there, mate.
I know James can't go. He's a bit early.
Yeah, I said the last time we went to Crawley, it was painful memories. But
painful?
I'm being polite about it. But it was painful because, again, this league, if anything, and again, I think Sam will attest this, anyone can beat anyone on their day. I know, we've had a good start. People are saying, we've got a great team and look, I really hope this is our year. Of course, I'm going to say that, but I'm also humble enough to know that as soon as you think you made it is when you don't. So,
look at Walsall last season.
Yeah, Walsall's a prime. One Notts County before that.
We walked out of their ground, Sam, and they absolutely trounced us, and they're singing "We're going to win the league." Yeah. I'm looking forward to sticking that back up when we play them.
I think the other thing to throw into the mix, and not many people know this, but when Richie left Derby with Paul Warren, he actually attended every single Crawley home game after that. So I think we talk about the 1%ers in football, and I think that might give you a little bit of an advantage there because he would have seen every single player who's still with us now in depth for at least 10, 15 games because he was at Broadfield watching his son. So, and hence probably part of the reason behind the Hepburn Murphy signing as well, I'd imagine. So I think that gives you a little bit of an edge as well because Richie's based in Brighton, isn't he? And was watching all those games.
The way you built it up, Sam, I reckon you probably sold another 100 tickets.
It'll be a 0-0 at this rate.
Yeah.
The most boring game, and we'll speak to you later on in the year. You go, what the bloody hell happened there?
No. Do you know what? That's the thing, though. When a team, and you talked about it, Sam, there, if you don't win on the weekend, I hope you do, but if you don't, you've got everything to gain and nothing to lose, and that's dangerous for a team coming to play a team as well.
And you can see it. You can see us losing on the weekend, or maybe not winning, and then we go early down, and then Jay Williams loses his head, or Scott Lindsay loses his head on the touchline. So I just hope for us, we don't let the mind games work. And you can see it in the dressing room. Richie saying to the lads, "Can't you make sure you give this player a little jab early doors?" Because I saw him a few times last season, and even his son, he'll be telling everyone. He'll be telling Hepburn Murphy will know as much as anyone else what Charlie's weaknesses are, and his dad will be telling him which way to run at him. So, and it'll be interesting. I think does Hepburn Murphy play on the side of a free? Does he for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he has. I mean, the thing with Paul is he does change up the formation. So, I mean, again, like the home game against Oldham, it was, it changed. It went to like a 4-2-4 or 4-4-2. There was, there were things were changing. So, I don't think necessarily that we're going to stick to one formation, but certainly when we're at Barrow, same on the game against Oldham. And I think on the game against Barrow,
a lot more fluid than any manager we've had in recent times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, he was, for me, when you saw him on the wing on a game against Barrow, even to be fair against Oldham, Sam, his pace is frightening at times.
Yeah, it is. And if anything, Charlie, who will play on the right of the three, if anything, his pace is probably his weakness. So you can imagine that Paul and Richie will be saying, right, just you hang on that touchline, mate, and you run at him, and obviously, especially as we haven't got out and out wing backs at the moment as well. You can imagine that, and our lads at the back will know what his strengths and weaknesses are as well, won't they? So when he comes running at them, so yeah.
I mean, looking at the team from what you've seen, who is the player that, from a Don's perspective, you're really worried about the most?
Well, when you signed Will Collar, I was worried about that, just because obviously being a local lad and seeing his journey, he's done really well. Obviously, Hepburn Murphy, he wasn't a massive fan favourite and didn't massively set the world alight. And when he went, people weren't really that fussed. But I can on his day, he can score 2 or 3 bangers for sure. And everyone adores Liam Kelly, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's pinging the ball about in midfield and dictating that play. So I just really hope that Liam doesn't come back and enjoy himself too much. Is probably what I'm fearing. And it'll be interesting to see how him and Jay worked so well together in our promotion winning season, and obviously them was playing together with you boys. So it'll be interesting to see how that matches up in the midfield.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I think that for the game personally, Cole, I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I wouldn't say it's a derby because I think it's a friendly rivalry, but I think there's something on it for both clubs. Both clubs will want to win it. Both clubs won't want to lose it. Scott won't want to lose it. We want to prove a point. So I think it's going to be a bit of a back and forth tussle, and I think it will be a close result. I think it will be 1-0, 2-1, something like that. I don't see either team running away with it. I think again, Crawley will set out their stall to not want to lose, especially at home. Makes it tough. We know it's a tight ground. We know what it was like last season when we went there. So I hope we've got the quality to do it, but I think it'll be 2-1, and that's a hard fought 2-1. That's my gut feel.
Well, for me, it's payback.
Exactly.
That's it, payback. I just want them to suffer like I did that night.
Well, it's too early in the season, Cole. It's too early in the season.
It's not.
It's like I say, the return leg when it's a bit further down the line, then probably be more on that one. There'll probably be more on that one. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough, especially if I say Jay Williams. I say didn't really work out for us, but you know what he's capable of, and he's a problem player. People hate playing against him. We know that, and if he's on his game and. And again, no doubt Scott's going to fire the team up because he won't want to lose it. So it's going to be a tough night. It'll be a tough night. But I think seeing what I saw at Barrow, if Patterson, Mendes, Lang, and Ekpiteta and others do what they did against Barrow, because again, that's a team that we really struggled against as well historically. I think it'll be a half-fought win. But that's just
you can ask me for my prediction.
Go for it.
8-1.
8-1. All right, there we go. All right, there's a surprise, Cole. I wonder where you got that result from.
No, sorry, Sam. I'm gonna go 2-0.
2-0,
obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be easy. I think it'll be pretty much like Barrow. We've already played 2 teams in the league that have set up to try and contain us, and in different measures. Obviously, Barrow didn't succeed. Oldham got out of jail with that penalty, which I still can't believe we never got, where Aaron Collins was shot in the box. Yeah, it looked like he got took out by a sniper. But,
you know what?
No, I reckon 2-0, but I think we'll come under a fair bit of pressure at times. But from what Sam said about potency at the front and wing backs, and I just think we might be too strong at the back.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right, but like you said, I just don't think it's going to be an easy game. I don't think it's going to be.
No,
easy.
I don't think it'll be easy. So
and I think that's why I'm going 2-1.
Joking aside, I'm going 2-0.
One thing I was going to say, actually, Sam, and I don't know if you've experienced it. We're going to talk in a minute, obviously, when we move on. But refs, what have you thought of the refs, the games that you've seen so far this season? Because frankly, the ones we've had have been dreadful.
If you get 30 seconds, please go back and look at Grimsby's first goal from the first game of the season. I think it was in the 10th minute. And our keeper has won the ball, and they've given a penalty, I've watched it about 10 times. I still can't understand why it was given a penalty, and it's just unbelievable. And you go away to Grimsby, 10 minutes in, you see that live, and then because obviously it was on Sky Sports, wasn't it? You get people send it through the videos in the game, and you watch it back, and how's that penalty? And it just ruined the start of the season for me. That did.
Yeah.
I think. Newport, I didn't really see anything that was too bad, and then obviously last night the red card, which didn't feel was a red card. I think what I struggle with is obviously the referees at our level aren't full time, are they? So we're paying these players thousands of pounds a week to be full time, but the referees aren't, and that just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure if the EFL or the FA said to the clubs, you've got to pay them 5-10 grand a year each extra to make these guys full time, I'm sure they would be, and I'm sure the refs would love to give up their day jobs as whatever they're doing to be a ref as well. So I just wonder, in the National League, the standard of football is not as good as. Or National League South and North, sorry, because obviously the players are part-time workers during the day. How can you expect these guys to have a day job and then travel to have an evening game or a Saturday game? So I do think that needs to be addressed. And a few managers said that over the last few years. That doesn't make sense to me. If you've got a full-time game, everyone in it should be full-time and focus on that job. So, yeah, that was disappointing. It was interesting. Scott's made reference to it after two of the games so far that apparently all the managers were called to a 2-hour meeting by the FA and EFL and said they can't say anything negative about referees after games. So Scott's deliberately not been talking about that, but it was plain to see that there was never a penalty, and it was just a real shame. And I don't really want VAR in the league, really, if I'm honest with you, because I hate the fact you said it's proper football, isn't it? You celebrate, you look at linesmen, and you carry on. Nowadays, when you're watching the Premier League, you think, "Oh, is it VAR?" So we want VAR, but then you go back to whether it's our Wembley final or Saturday's game against Grimsby when there was a penalty. You think, well, that wouldn't have been a penalty. So the problem is, I think if they don't address the standard of refereeing, it will end up going down the VAR route. But let's invest the money and making them full time first before spending the money on putting VAR in. Is my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad to hear it. And again, thanks, Sam, because it just goes to prove it's not just us going crazy. You know, your other teams are seeing it as well. But I'm with you on that. I think particularly when you get a cup game or a game that's live on TV, the ref is always a professional ref, and that speaks volumes to me. If they were that good, why have they changed the referee standard for that game?
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope to see it. I like you. I'd hope to see more professional refs, but again, we'll have to watch that space.
Anyway, James, give a prediction.
Oh, prediction. Well, it's going to be both sets of fans are going to want to win. Like,
no shit.
Well, I'm talking about, like, you know, what's happened between the two clubs in recent years.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's going to be a tough game. But if we play like we can play, I'm going to go 1-0 to us.
Yeah, I mean, Sam's written it up perfectly here. There's quite a backstory to this game.
Yeah,
and you know, it's going to certainly add an edge or an element to it. And like Sam said, he'd like to be a fly on the wall in the tunnel as the players are coming out. You know, they'll probably come out fighting.
And I don't know if you know, Jamie Day's obviously returned to us as well. Obviously, he was assistant.
I wonder if anybody's ever been sent off before a game started.
Is it? I think it'll be interesting because I think the Scott will have to calm the players down before this game.
Really?
So, Sam, if you're staking your mortgage on it, what's your heart telling you in terms of result?
2-2.
I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. Yeah. And it's difficult because I probably would have taken that at the start of the season with you boys obviously spending money and being the bookies' favourites. But after you lose the first two games, you kind of need to be winning your home games, don't you? So yeah, and it's interesting. The players got back really late last night. There's loads of issues on the roads. Players didn't get back to like 4 a.m. last night, and then obviously got to travel to Crewe Friday night. So his fitness in the last 20 minutes is going to come into it.
You'll have me in tears in a minute.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the excuses in early.
Yeah, love it.
So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'll be well happy if we win. I can imagine Scott turning around and looking at Liam Sweeting in the exec area if he pulls off the win. So yeah, exactly. Absolutely, yeah.
Exactly.
Sam, you've been absolutely marvellous, mate. You know, we have great guests on here. We really do. We're blessed. Not one person says franchise, only me. Anything like that. But Sam, can I invite you back for our return fixture at our place?
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Brilliant,
great to have you on the show.
brilliant. You've been absolutely
Nice.
great. Hey, look,
Thank you.
Sam has been brilliant to have on. Wishing him all the best for the rest of the season, except against us, Christian. Well, that's
Yeah.
good sentiment. I agree.
Couldn't say it better myself, Christian. Fantastic. But no, yeah, look, Sam, you've been great. Thank you so much. And like as I say, generally wish you well for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Take that shirt down.
Yeah, he'll never forgive you for it. No, so hopefully we're both playing in League One next season.
Mate, I've got it all planned. The trip to Wembley. The whole lot.
Oh no, you just win the league. It's much less stressful.
Yeah,
Exactly right. Exactly.
Sam,
Good
take
stuff.
care.
We'll let you go,
Yeah,
Sam. But again, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate your time.
No
Thank
worries,
you,
take
Sam.
Take care.
Cheers, Sam.
care. Bye.
Yeah, again, I'm going to say it, Cole. Lovely guy. Really lovely guy.
Yeah.
So,
I've got to say it. Guest of the season so far.
yeah, really nice bloke. I really like Sam. And
Yeah,
like I said, look, and rivalries aside, like, I don't wish former players, former managers ill. If I hope they do well this season. And I'm sure they will. I think Scott fits them really well. I think that some managers just work with certain clubs. Like Graham Alexander worked with Bradford. I think Lindsay's the same with Crawley. There's just certain clubs that they just work with, and I think they'll be there or thereabouts near the playoffs or flirting for it by the end of the season. That's for sure. I don't think they'll be down the bottom for the rest of the season. There's other teams that I think will be worried about that. But yeah, again, onwards and upwards. Perversely, as I say, we've done Tuesday night before Saturday game because we didn't have a Cheltenham guest, but we did. I did acquire some feedback on behalf of Cheltenham, so we can get an understanding of how their season's gone.
Well, can we have a quick clear the socials up because people have been commenting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
James, you go for it, mate.
James, go on, mate, quick.
Right. So John Taylor says, "I'm embarrassed watching this. Cheers."
All right.
But then he says, "I'm back. I've got the cricket on one screen and us on the other." So welcome back.
Why is he embarrassed watching?
Who knows?
You don't know.
I'll let you take that up with him.
I'll
and
take
also
that with JT.
We've also got Max watching from Ukraine as well.
Oh,
Good evening, Max.
yo,
Good evening.
Hope you're doing
Maxie,
well, my
how
friend.
are you? Stay safe, Maxie.
Yeah, stay safe, Max.
Yeah, there's been a few comments echoing that. Steve says it's Cheltenham 2, Exeter 0 at half time.
Oh,
So yeah, and that's sort of where we're at. John's just said, "What about Martin? Do you wish him well?"
who?
Who? Yeah, no idea.
Martin?
That's what he says, Martin.
I haven't got a
Believe
clue
it.
what he's going on about.
No.
Well, Dave Martin.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
No, you got me there, John. Right, go on then. Hang on a minute. John
Hang on.
Taylor said he's watching cricket.
Yeah, he's watching cricket.
They don't play cricket in Scotland.
He's a cruel man.
Okay.
But anyway,
Go on then.
I acquired a special guest who is the same guest, but someone who does fourth tier fever reviews, our very own Luke Payne, doing a Cheltenham review this time for us. So I will roll that VT.
Right, so in the absence of a Cheltenham fan, I've been asked to step in and give a little bit of a breakdown as to how their season's panning out so far. And to take you through Cheltenham's story so far, I think you kind of have to look to the summer, really. For the last few months, there's been speculation of a takeover, and nothing concrete has actually happened. And I think that's largely affected a lot of their sort of summer dealings with their ins and outs. They lost club captain Tom Bradbury to Harrogate, and I think that in itself kind of tells you where they're at. But they have brought in a reasonable amount of players. I do question the quality of some of them. They now have Lee Angle up top, who I believe did score against us for Morecambe last season, but like I said, he plays for Morecambe, and he was relegated to them, and I believe he was relegated in the previous season as well. So his track record isn't the greatest. He'll score a few, but he's not anything special. And to be honest, that pretty much describes a lot of their team. Just not particularly special. Ryan Broom's interesting incoming from Fleetwood, but the key talking point with their team is two wingers that probably aren't going to play, Ethan Archer and Jordan Thomas. have been sort of subject to transfer speculation. They don't really know if they're going to stay or go at this point. To me, it sounds likely that they're going or kind of already gone. But it's not the greatest look for Cheltenham at the minute in that sense. Their hopes are very much hanging on that possibility of a takeover, which, even if it does happen, can cause instability, as we well know. It's not necessarily as easy as it sounds. In terms of results, they've had 2 defeats so far. They lost 1-0 away at Cambridge on the opening day, and from what I could tell, they looked awful that day, absolutely awful. I think they were just lucky that Cambridge's finishing wasn't quite up to scratch, otherwise it could have been a few more. They then had a 2-0 home defeat to Chesterfield, and again, they didn't look great, to be honest. They didn't look anything particularly special, but they held a better account of themselves when you consider how strong that Chesterfield side look. So there's not too much to go on. They've obviously got no goals scored and 3 conceded from 2 games. Judging by their away game, I'm assuming that's kind of how they'll perform again. So this is a very good chance for Dons. And I do have my concerns over Cheltenham at the minute. But by all means, this is a chance for Paul Warne and his men to take advantage. Come on, you Dons.
There you go.
Another quality one. I think, by the way,
one of the best in the business, Luke Payne.
Yeah, I think Mr. JT was probably talking about Russell Martin at Rangers, if I'm correct. I don't know, James, is that correct? I don't know if that's
that
what
is correct. Yes.
There you go. He's come back.
He says,
go on.
What did he say? Go on, James.
He also says no one wishes him well, especially Rangers fans.
I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's not done well up there. I will be honest, and as contentious as this may sound, when I was in hospital seriously ill with COVID, he did send me a really lovely message. He rang me as well, and he checked in. So I will always be grateful to him for that. He didn't have to. And it was really lovely of him to do that. So as a genuine bloke, I found him a really nice guy. I appreciate the toxicity that he left when he left our club, which I wasn't best appreciative of, but that's football. But yeah, as a guy, I'm grateful that he took the time to check in on me when I was really ill. But yeah, I going back to the Rangers thing, James, I always found that was an odd decision to sign him in the first place, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go to Norwich, perversely, before Manning did. I thought that's where he would have gone, because that's where his heart is, ultimately. But what do I know? Yeah, strange one. And then to see Mike Williamson turn up there, it's almost like 2 of the unholy trinity have turned on at Rangers. But hey-ho, it's a weird season for them. I don't see him lasting too long the way it's going. But yeah, I'm sure JT will tell us otherwise. But there we go.
That it?
That's it. There you go.
Nothing else on social?
Well, so James might do. But I was going to say, Colin, how do you see the Cheltenham game going on Saturday, ultimately? I mean,
I think we'll slaughter them.
You think we'll slaughter them?
Yeah.
Really?
I do. I think we'll slaughter them. Slaughter them. Slaughter.
What, 8-1, yeah?
I'll tell you what. I can see me walking out the ground and saying to the nearest copper, "You better get in there." It's somebody has just been beaten up.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, there you go.
James, what about for yourself? What do you think for the Cheltenham game?
Slaughter. Tell him, James. Slaughter.
Yeah, slaughter.
Well, they're winning at the moment. They're 2-0 up.
I don't care.
I it's a game we should be winning on paper.
100%. Yeah.
I'm looking maybe 3-0. You know, obviously,
I agree with that.
If we scrape a 1-0, then so be it. Win's a win. But I'm going to go 3-0.
I'm going to jog your memories, right?
Go on.
Last time we played Cheltenham, what happened? Who can remember?
Crikey.
Jack Saunders scored.
We were losing 2-0 and came back and won 3-2. And I believe the goal scorers were Gilby, Harrison, and was it Jack Saunders?
Jack Saunders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or was it Lawrence Maguire? No, Lawrence Maguire. I reckon it was Lawrence Maguire. I think it was Lawrence Maguire.
Could be right, but I can't remember. It's been such a while, to be honest, Cole.
Yeah.
But they've had some. They've not really had too many summer signings from memory. I don't think. I think it's one. Had one signing from memory.
I don't know. But like Luke said, their season's been a bit. Their pre-season's been a bit of a mess, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, again.
By the way, Spurs are beating Paris Saint-Germain 2-0.
Who are Spurs?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm sure. The
Who
Spurs.
was it, James?
I'm just trying to find. Well, so we beat them 1-0 at their place.
Yeah, I remember
that.
That was
3-2 at our place.
Home game. That was 3-2.
Who scored?
Ash will know if he's listening. Ash, if
I think it was Gilby, Harrison, and Maguire.
I'm looking.
I think Sanders is the winner away, and I think Maguire was at home. You're right, Cole. I think it was Maguire for the winner.
Probably the only team we done the double over.
Yeah.
Was it Maguire?
Maguire, yeah.
Yeah. I think they were about the only team we did the double over last season.
I think it was, to be fair. It wasn't many, was it? That's for sure.
No.
There we go. But yeah, so you reckon 3-0. Cole, what's your score?
I go 3-0 as well, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, mate, I know football is the strangest things can happen in football, top plays bottom wins, and all this, that, and the other. But really and truly, we are leagues above them in terms of quality, and they are really struggling. And we should be dispatching these. Paul Franklin, just like you, had Russell Martin contacted James when she was in. It meant a lot. He was also at the Luton. It was great.
It was.
So there you go.
Yeah, I get it. I get why people don't see the best in him for the football piece and the way he left. I agree. I think he could have done that far better. Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. But no, nice to have the comment. Thank you, Paul. It's one of those calls. I mean, like on paper, I think we should win it easily. But that I don't want to. Again, I don't want to just get carried away here. But I think a lot of teams, particularly at home for us, are going to come and want to get something. So they're going to set up to just grind out a draw. I think that's where my head's at. So
they're gonna play. They're not going to push too far forward.
Of course they're not.
They're going to try and frustrate the midfield, and they're going to try and hit us on the break, mate. And I think an early goal is needed on Saturday.
I think if we score early, I think the floodgates could open. But that said, I mean, again, I can still see like 1 or 2-0. I don't want to get carried away. I'd like to see more. Of course, I'd like to see more. If Patterson plays the way he did against Barrow, I can easily see him getting on the score sheet a couple of times.
Yeah.
Hepburn Murphy's got the ability. He just needs consistency. I think his runs, have been great, but up front, in front of goal, particularly against Oldham, again, he wasn't the sharpest. But it's early doors. But I think we've got enough in the tank. Absolutely, we've got enough in the tank. It's just how we react. And I think after the Bristol game, I thought we'd come out of that with some credit. I thought we played relatively well against the Championship side. The Barrow game for me was phenomenal. And if we take the league form that we did at Barrow into the home game, I've got no worries, to be quite honest, on that one.
Right, we'll change direction if we can.
Go for it.
I know we're only 2 games in, and we can't make any assumptions or anything. But where do you see it at the moment? We got 3 teams unbeaten: Crewe, Fleetwood, which is a bit of a surprise for me, and Chesterfield.
Fleetwood?
Yeah, a bit of a surprise for me.
I'm not surprised at Fleetwood, I'll be honest, because they're one of those, a bit like Barrow for me. They're a team that people look at and just think, oh, who are they? But they grind out the results. And look, until last season, they did well and punched above their weight in League One, ultimately. Yeah. So am I surprised to see them maybe away? But home form, I would expect them to be relatively strong. Chesterfield, I'll be honest with you, they spent money, and I think they'll be there or thereabouts with us at the end of the season.
Yeah. 100%.
And I rate Cookie as a manager. I mean, you saw what he did at Portsmouth. He got them out of League Two. He's a Chesterfield man. He got them up and running again before he moved from them. I think he'll do the same and take them back to League One, maybe even further potentially. Depends on the investment and stuff. But yeah, I mean, Crewe again, a bit of a dark horse. They're capable of doing it. They are. You look at their squad; they've got a capable squad, and on their day,
they're always there or thereabouts. Crewe, aren't they? Yeah,
they are. So. Am I surprised with those? No. Would I be surprised to see them in the top 6 at the end of the season? Possibly Fleetwood might fall away, but again, I think they're the teams that I would expect to be in the shake-up, Cole, at least anyway.
Right now, if you look at the script, Aidan, I've made a slight mistake. I've written Barnet twice on it.
You've written Barnet on it. There we go.
Barnet twice, but 5 teams on 0 points, and one of them is a big surprise to me.
Go on.
I mean, it should read Bristol Rovers, Barrow, Crawley, Barnet, and Cheltenham.
Yeah.
But Barnet, I thought Barnet would be. I mean, again, it's only 2 games, I know.
Yeah.
But I did think we'd see more from Barnet, even in the early stages. Or, you know, I'm a little bit shocked, really.
No, it's one of those, right? So I think if you remember, like last season, I don't think they were 0 points, but Bromley were a little bit sluggish at the start. I mean, Harrogate, when they first came up, were a little bit sluggish as well. And again, I know it's like everyone goes, you know, it's only League Two, but there is still a bit of a step up from part-time to full-time professional football. Do I think they'll be there at the end of the season? Probably not. But I mean, again, I think for them a good season would be mid-table. If they got to that, I think they'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a real divide this season.
Do you?
I really do. I think there's going to be probably 6 teams going to dominate this league this season. I don't think it's going to be. I mean, we touched on it a lot last season, and you said it again tonight that any team can beat anyone. But I just got a feeling that there could be 5 or 6 teams that not run away with it, but dominate proceedings, you know, and it could be quite a toss-up who gets in the playoffs at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, it could, Cole. It could. I mean, there could be leagues within leagues, but I don't know. I mean, other than us, and that's going to sound really arrogant. I don't mean it to sound arrogant. I mean, other than us, I probably us and Chesterfield aside, the rest of the league's quite open. I mean, in terms of investment, at least.
Yeah.
And I would expect when things shake out over the next 6 or 7 games, that I can see Chesterfield and us probably being the 2 tussling for the title if things go the way I think they will. And then the rest is pretty much open. I mean, if you look at the last few seasons with Wrexham and, you know, when they went up in the group that went up with them, Mansfield, and that, I thought they were strong teams last season. Relatively open. I mean, I was pleased for Bradford ultimately. I think that's a team that deserves more success than they've had over the few years. But obviously, again, it was still quite a relatively open league until late on. So, you know, again, I've not seen it in our time in League Two where anyone's necessarily split. Like there's two leagues within one, but it's possible, mate. It's possible. I think there'll be 1 or 2 teams that will be cut away at the bottom for sure. And I think for me, hate to say it, I think Aki Stanley will probably go down this season. That's my gut feel. I think they're
my tip for going down this season is Shrewsbury.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. To be fair,
I watched them the other day, and I thought they were appalling.
Yeah, they've just had a bit of a mess, you know, last season, come down, not really sorted it out, and still seem to be in a bit of a freefall situation. But yeah, I think for me, Aki Stanley, I don't know. They struggled last season. I mean, Tranmere, yeah, okay, they struggled, but I think they're a physical team. I think there'll be enough there for them to get out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me at the moment, I don't know who the other one would be, but I'm pretty confident Aki Stanley will be one of them.
Who do you reckon, James?
I'm surprised
there's only 44 games left. Come on.
Well, exactly. I'm surprised at your Shrewsbury comment, but
I didn't think much of Shrewsbury. I mean, they might just have had a bad day.
Yeah, I think Accrington Stanley is a shout as well, and Barnet as well. I'm going to go Barnet. I think they're going to find it a bit tricky.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a big call. The way they came up last season.
Yeah, I mean, I say, like, if you look at last season, Tranmere were down there with us. I think we're okay. I think Tranmere, when they got rid of Adkins, they seemed to sort themselves out a bit, so I think they'll be all right.
Right.
But again, it's just such an open league. Like Morecambe, I wouldn't have thought Morecambe would have gone down, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, and again, really sad to see what's happening with them. I hope they get their situation sorted out sooner than later.
Yeah, that's a bloody mess, that is, isn't it?
It is.
I don't envy him that at all. All Sheffield Wednesday come to that.
No, very true. But I mean, like the likes of Barrow, I think they know what this league's about. I don't think they're going to be down there at all come the end of the season. No. They've got the quality to.
I think Barrow have had a real tough start.
They have,
and I think they will. Yeah, I
think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I do.
But flip it the other way, Cole. What do you think top 3? I mean, again, I know, like you said, early doors. But from what you've seen for the last few games, where are you thinking, other than us?
Sorry, other than us, right? Okay. Chesterfield, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Crew, yeah, that's an easy call. I think Walsall will be hurting from what happened last year, where they were miles clear, singing "We're going to win the league" when we played them, and what happened. It was they must have felt probably worse than we did when we lost to Crawley. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Walsall up there.
Okay. I'm with you. I think,
and then Notts County. Yeah, I mean Notts County are another team that are never far away, are they?
No. To be fair,
and we haven't talked about Swindon yet.
No, we haven't. But again, one I think will be in the top 3 come the end of the season is Cambridge.
Really?
I think they came down. I know, but I think they've got. You look at their squad; they're a relatively decent squad, and I think they've got enough for League 2 for sure.
Yeah, and they've got Jack Tucker, haven't they?
No, that's Colchester.
Colchester.
Yeah. Well, then again, we've got.
Well, I was close.
Exactly. I mean, again, in the Don's Unplugged universe, who do people think? I mean, speaking of relegation things, funny enough, you just jogged my memory. I think Newport have had a shocking situation, so they could be there or thereabouts. Sadly.
Yeah.
When you look at the situations on and off the field for them, could that be a telling fact? I'd hate to see it because again, they're it's a good place to go. I've always enjoyed away day.
I've always enjoyed Rodney Parade. Yeah.
Yeah, same to be honest. But yeah, mate. If you're going to put, I think to me, if I'm really sticking my neck out and it's really early doors, I'd say Aki and Newport down. I'd say us, Chesterfield, and Cambridge to go up in the autos.
Right. Okay.
Who knows for the playoffs?
Okay.
Anything on the socials?
We've
James?
got Ollie, who's given his opinions on who's going to go down. He said Newport to go down and also Tranmere. But he also said that Bromley might make a surprise playoff push.
Possibly. Possibly.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, Luca, I agree. We'll get to that, Luca. We're coming back to
that. Harry also says he can see Oldham being in and around the top 7 as well.
Yeah.
They were quite solid. They set up well.
Yeah, I mean, they won't set the world alight, but in League 2, you look at what they did in the National League. I think, they've got enough about them to be challenging. It's just whether, I mean, the window's not shut yet. It's whether they keep some of those players. It's whether they bring in any players. I know they were looking for a couple of forwards when we spoke to their guru last week. Was it the week before? The week before now.
Week before.
So who knows? Who knows? I mean, again, I always feel the ones that come up who are quite strong in the National League, it's that bounce effect, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you pop Luca's comment up again?
Yeah, of course I can. No worries at all. And again, any other comments, anything else anyone wants to chat about, please feel free to whack it on. We've got another one on there. But yeah, as he said, do we think there are any incomes of Paul Warren is saying this lack of fullbacks? Yeah. I mean, Colin, I know what your thoughts are. I think, we know he was looking
definitely need cover.
He was looking for a left back. We know that much. And he did say before, get my teeth in now, Epicteta. Anyway. Big Marv. Let's just call him that because it's late and I'm
EpiPen.
Epi use. There we go. But yeah, I think in terms of what Warney was saying before he came and he wanted 2, he's got 1, and he still said he still wants the fullback. So
yeah,
I agree, Luca. I think we need someone to challenge Tomlinson on left back for me. If we get that, I'd be happy with one more right now.
Well, I said the jigsaw's nearly complete, and I think what Luca said is correct. That I think a fullback will just about he's ticked off his shopping list, won't he?
Absolutely. But again,
who's out there coming back?
Who's out there is available with the quality that we want? I don't know. I mean, he's obviously probably looking at Championship League 1.
Yeah.
And again, question then goes to, is it a permanent or because we haven't used the loan market yet either?
Well, we haven't used the loan market, but like I said last week, I think Warney's keeping that in his back pocket for January. That's my feeling.
Maybe. But then again, if the need's there, I know he's not opposed to it, but if there's a need and he can't get someone on permanent, maybe he'll go in for a loan player as the next best option. But it's always a risk with that, Cole, because if they do well, we get to January, they're gone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How many times have we seen that?
Too many. Anyway, but Stephen Flanagan, evening, Stephen. Thanks for joining. He's just put a comment up here. It says, he thinks us, Swindon and Chesterfield will go up, Crawley and Accrington to go down. So he thinks Crawley are going to struggle this season. So
poor old Sam. Good job Sam's not here to listen to that.
Yes, Sam would be crying with that. But stranger things have happened, Stephen. Who knows? I just think again that they've got enough about them.
I think Swindon are a bit of a dark horse.
They are.
You know, especially with
they finished strongly.
What's his name?
If you remember, they went up and then they had the financial troubles and it all went to hell. So you know, so was it Stephen Flynn, wasn't it? Was the manager James? You might better know that one. I think when they went up.
Swindon.
Yeah.
No, it's what's name? Isn't it?
No, when they went up.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was him.
What's his name? I can't remember the Swindon manager.
Ash will know. Wait for Ash. Ash will probably tell us some predictions in a minute.
Oh, I can't remember. Who's it?
Cambridge for playoffs, he reckons.
Yeah, he agrees with you.
And he said MK, Fleetwood, Chesterfield up from Jordan. Some good shouts there. Fleetwood, yeah. I mean, again, could well do it. Jordan reckons Barnet, Cheltenham, Axe Stanley for the mix to go down. So yeah, I mean, again, who knows? It's still early days, right? I think we'll know a bit more. But yeah, my gut, I think Accrington Stanley for me, definitely. Newport possibly because of the troubles they've had. Craig says, what do we think about our midfield three? Cole.
Yeah, probably one of the best midfielders. I mean, Kelly's warm to the job, hasn't he? You got Gilby.
We're seeing the best of him again. He's coming to life, isn't he?
Yeah.
Gilby for me has been standout, absolutely standout. Yeah, definitely.
I find it very. Last year you could look at our team, and you could pick holes everywhere in goal. Yeah. I mean, we didn't know where our goalkeepers were half the time. Defence. Well, I mean, it was just a mess. We were constantly giving the ball away. Midfield, we were weak. We were lacking power. And up front, again, we were weak. We got no muscle. You could pick holes in all over the show. But this season, you look at our team and you think, bloody hell, we've got so much talent. I think his hardest job is going to be keeping them all happy.
Yeah, and look, I think Matt said something bold as he said there, but he thinks Bristol Rovers will have a struggle like we did last season. Right. I mean, again, I wouldn't say against him. I mean, they've had a bit of trouble, but there again, we've got others thinking that they'll be up the top. So again, it's still early days, isn't it? But I mean, they've got decent pedigree, Rovers, in terms of that, I think. But yeah, I mean. It's a minefield. It's a minefield. Whatever you say, it's never going to shake out that way, no doubt. But I think for me, Rovers playoffs, I don't see them being top three, but that's just personal opinion, right?
While everybody's watching, can I just say, sorry, you can carry on.
Yeah, go for it.
Can you put your predictions up for Saturday
and Tuesday?
And Tuesday against Crawley. So put those in the comments and we'll fire them up and get them on the screen. We'll pick holes in it. I think most people are going to go for 6 points. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah,
it'd be interesting. I think 6 points is achievable, Cole, but it's not going to be
Gilby Kelly Crowley or Gilby Kelly Collar. I don't know. I like Kelly. I think when Crowley gets in the team, I think we are finally going to see what Danny Crowley is all about because he's got the players around him now. Whereas last year, he was going around picking the ball up from the back four, wasn't he? That's not...
because he was trying to do... He was trying to do too much.
Yeah.
He was trying to do too much, I think,
I think it'll be different this year.
And do you think Offord moves into defensive midfield? Yeah, I mean, there's options. I mean, this is the thing, right? With Warney, we've seen he's flexible with his formation. He's flexible with substitution. So I've no doubt that we'll see different variations depending on the game. I think Offord it would be nice to see him in his natural position. I think he'd offer more in that defensive midfield. Rob, a defender isn't really his natural position. There again, Maguire coming back. You've got Thompson's coming back as well. So, when you think about Thompson and Maguire and obviously Sanders, Ekpateta, etc., that's a hell of a headache as a manager. A nice headache.
Yeah.
But I would say, I'll be honest, I think if you're looking at that back four, I would struggle to see Maguire and Offord getting in there at the moment on form.
Yeah. I'll tell you what it is, though. What it is, above everything, is we now can look at our bench. I mean, how many times did you look at the bench last season and think, there ain't nobody on that bench that was capable of changing the game? We've now got players that can change the game.
That's a very good question, Stephen. That is a very, very good question.
Yeah.
It's a really hard one. It's only 2 games, and we probably all have different views on this. I mean, I'm torn. I'm honest. I'm excited by quite a few. I mean, Patterson is up there for me.
Yeah.
That said, I'd probably say Gilby for me at the moment. I think Gilby is really taking it. I mean, the Oldham game was not a great game, but he sort of took it by the scruff of the neck and gave it a good go.
I'd say Kelly, but I'm probably tainted by the fact that Kelly was so bad last season, and now to see him playing how we know he can play is probably,
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
I'm
It's difficult, really, because people like Gilby, you expect it, don't you?
Yes, you do. But I think, as I say, for me, I just think the first 2 games he's shown his leadership qualities. I mean, again, Dean, I know he was kind of captain, but obviously Dean was still the shadow of the spectre in the team dressing room. And, we felt, I think a lot of us felt last season was a captaincy too much for Gilby because he seemed jaded for a lot of the season. But
we know he's carrying injury as well, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. But I think he's proven people wrong very quickly, to be quite honest. And that's really good to see. So, I mean, Kelly, probably the most improved player of the season. But the jury's still out for me on him. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. But I would say Gilby and let's not forget McGivery, clean sheets.
Yeah, Craig Mack, club record.
Yeah, exactly. So can we make it 6 on the weekend? Maybe.
No, it's 6 already, isn't it? Is it 6 already?
Yeah, 6 already.
7
already.
6, 7, yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of contenders out there, that's for sure. It's a very good question, Steve.
I would go as far as saying Jack Saunders. I think
Saunders,
I think like Colin with Liam Kelly, I thought that he was quite poor last season. I actually questioned why have we sort of signed him. But that's just me personally. But I think this year he's really sort of come into his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I go with you. I rated him when we signed him, to be fair, and I got mocked for it, but I've been proven right so far, and long may it continue. But I think him and Ekpateta in the centre of a 4 is frighteningly good for this league.
Yeah.
You got physicality, and I think Saunders just knows the basics and does them well. Does them really well so far. But then again, Thompson as well is challenged. So again, you've got some real competition there. Real competition.
Yeah. Well, great stuff. Don't forget, keep putting your predictions on the comments. We'll put them up. Don't you think Truman will get? No, I don't. Move on.
Unless it's injury. Injuries happen. Jordan, injuries happen. So who knows? But we'll see.
I mean, Warren loves McGivery.
He does. No, I don't disagree. But if there's injury, then he gets a chance.
Yeah,
he gets a chance, doesn't he? I guess. But anyway, so Chris said 3-0 on Saturday. So he's 6 points, 3-0 and 1-0. Christian's gone brave. He's gone brave. He reckons 4-0 Saturday and 2-0. So I mean, I'd love to see it, Christian. That's for sure. We've got Jordan saying 3-0 Cheltenham, Crawley 1-1 or a narrow 1-0. I'm kind of with you on the second one. Yeah, and a 3-0. I don't disagree with that. Although I like the 4-0, but I don't want to be greedy. And then Stephen has gone on the YouTube and said 2-0 win on Saturday and a 1-0 win against Crawley, mainly because I'm going to Crawley. However, I'd say 6 points is very achievable. I think so.
I'll be down there on Tuesday, and
will you be there Saturday, Cole?
Yes, I shall be there Saturday. I'm going away very short. I'm on holiday soon, so I shall be broadcasting from my secret location somewhere in Norfolk.
Exactly, yeah. Russell Martin's house. There we go. Good stuff. But yeah, James, anything from you on the socials on Facebook?
So we've got Grant says 3-1 to us. I assume he means Saturday, but take 3-1 Saturday
Take
and
it both
Tuesday.
days. Take it both days. Yeah.
And Ashley says Dons 3, Cheltenham 0, and Crawley 1, MK Dons 2, but it's going to be a hard-fought win.
Yeah, well, Sam built it up like that. So Matt has gone 3-0 Cheltenham and 2-0 against Crawley. So
yeah, I agree with him.
Looks, I'm not against the Gilby shout ever. I think Kelly or Gethin Jones. We've forgotten about Jones, haven't we?
That's a fair shout, Steve. Fair shout. I mean, again, it's all opinion, right? But I mean, again, be interesting to see some of the names that we've mentioned tonight on this. who at the end of the season is still in that contention.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the funny thing is. Last season, you'd have had a job to have picked a player of the season. And now we've asked a question and people are throwing loads of names out. So it just shows you.
Sorry. Yes, Paul, you know my feelings on Mr. Verne, and good riddance, mate. I'd have paid for the taxi myself. But yeah, I mean, Gilby, I think, is just, for me, like I say, the leadership and the passion he's got for our club as well, that means a great deal. And again, the fact that we're talking about a number of people this season already tells you how good this squad is.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You know, it's really nice to see.
So many names have come up. It's, when last season you'd have had a job. Yeah,
so Harry said, I wouldn't mind George Williams as backup at 4, but I mean, I wouldn't potentially. But then I think, is he still at Mansfield? I don't know.
He's got no club at the moment.
Has he not? Sign him up if he's free. Yeah. I'd have him just for the dressing room, Harry, to be honest. I loved him. He was great. And I will never forget when we had the playoffs against Crawley. He came down. He was at Stadium MK. He was there. In Block 11. He was up in Lewington's. Love the guy. He loves the club. I'd love to see him, but I don't know if
he was leading the singing, wasn't he?
He was. I'd have him back just for Block 11, if nothing else. But there we go. Lovely guy. Always got time for Georgie. Craig reckons, he says 3-0 against Cheltenham and Crawley 1-1, 4 points. Okay, there we go. So that's someone on 4 points rather than 6, Cole.
Yeah, well,
I think to Craig's point, the Crawley, I wouldn't say Crawley one worries me, that's too strong a word, but I think the Crawley one is the difficult one for me. I think because of form goes out the window, it's more of like they both want to outdo each other.
Like I said, there is quite a backstory to that game, and
and he's Carrie. So I can't see Maguire getting anywhere near the back line, unfortunately, when he returns. Yeah, I mean, but that doesn't that go to prove how far we've come in like one season?
Yeah,
crazy. Sorry, James. Any more from Facebook?
No, not as of yet. Ashley says his predictions for going up: us, Chesterfield, and Crewe in the top 3. Notts County to win the playoffs, and relegated Accrington Stanley and Shrewsbury.
Hey, Ash agrees with me.
I'll tell you what, that's probably a good bet. That's probably good money on Shrewsbury not to go.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have a look when I get off this show. I'm going to have a look and see what the odds are.
Ash also said that George was down for the Wickham playoff games as well.
He was.
He was. Yeah.
Top bloke. But yeah, I don't know how old he is now. He's got to be 30 something now.
Yeah, pushing 30s. Yeah,
30 something. Yeah, it must be. But I'd have him back. I mean, as I said, it's one of those, isn't it? Whether he's going to be good enough in the squad now, which is the thing. Obviously, we look back with romantic lenses on it, but I don't know. I mean, if Warney's looking for someone and he can't get hold of someone and he's a free, why not? It's not harm, is there? I guess, but there we are. But I'm being biased. Anyway, Cole, sorry, you were going to say something, mate.
No, I was going to say time is a knocking on.
It is.
We've been on there quite a while again tonight.
Lots to cover.
There was a lot to cover
4
tonight,
games.
and
4 games.
I don't know. Do you want to wrap it up, or do you want to sit here talking for hours on it?
Carry on if you want. It's all right.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, Christian's another comment. He said, "Shout out to my buddy John Harris for helping with the awesome guests. He's the best connected Dons fan around."
Well, there ain't no arguing about that.
No.
We've had some cracking guests. Talking of cracking guests,
yes.
Right? I mean, we've had Sam today. Absolutely. We've been warned that the Newport County guest is quite anti-MK Dons.
He is. I'm looking forward to
it. Twice he hasn't come on the show.
Bottled it.
We think he's bottled it. We were ready for him, weren't we, mate? And we got Newport County next week, so hopefully he comes from behind the sofa and takes us on.
Just so in case he's watching this back, you're trying to stir it up. I get it. I see the psychology. But no, it'd be good to have him on.
Can you read that comment out?
Harry says, can I just say I've always admired Colin's shirt collection in his background. Yeah.
Thanks, Harry.
Yeah.
It's cost me a lot of money.
And like you, Cole, I think my old wardrobe is full to, but
I think I've got about 50, Harry, or something of that nature. Plus the leisure wear, like tracky tops and rubbish like that. But I'm lucky. I've got my own office here.
Yep.
Don't allow the wife in here. And
I can confess, Cole, because I've been in the operations room with you, that they are pinned to the wall.
They are.
Yeah. There you go. So
you had a look then.
I did. I was impressed because again, like you've got pretty much everyone. I've got every home and away kit from the first season of Don's onwards. You can't see, but there's like a little thin white. That door is full of 20 years worth of MK Don shirts.
My favourite shirt is my A-line black.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that top.
I like that shirt.
A-line black Marshall. And I
they
picked
got
that
bust,
up. I got that from a programme fair, James, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You did.
Did he nick it off you, James?
No, he didn't nick it off me.
The guy from Northampton was selling it.
Yeah, Cobblers Collectibles.
Yeah. And he wanted 20 quid for it, and he ripped his arm off.
Yeah, 20 quid for that and a couple of others.
Yeah, I bought 3.
I tell you what, I'll dig it out for next week. But I've got that shirt signed by every player from that first season on my shirt as well. Pride of place in my cupboard.
Excellent.
And the last Wimbledon team as well on my pink Wimbledon shirt.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
That's
would kill me if I displayed mine like that, so that they said, "Mate, she ain't allowed in here."
No, good stuff. Good stuff. But
anyway, any more comments? Any more
from you, James?
No, I thought we were mentioning referees. I know we touched on it a little bit.
Well, we did. We did with Sam, didn't we? But they're
rubbish. Wow. I've got
James,
a little bit
of comments. You got any comments on the referees?
I do a little bit.
You can't swear. Go on.
No. The thing is, like, yes, I'll answer this as a fan and as a former referee.
Well, I used to be a referee, you know that.
And so did I.
We've got 2 W's on here.
So referees, they don't cheat. They are not biased in any way, no matter what people say. I firmly don't believe that.
Have you seen Scott?
Hang on, I want to stop you there. You're a human being, right?
Yes.
You're a human being. If a player run past you, right, and said effing cheat, you'd think, you wait, mate. Next 50-50.
Yeah.
Mate, you're only human. You're only human. I'm not saying it happens, but you're human. Right, but carry on. Sorry.
You're not going to give decisions that are wrong intentionally. However, we've all been there on the side when we think it's a corner or we think it's a penalty. You're not going to get them wrong intentionally. You're just not. You're there to do a job, and you're going to do that job fairly and honestly. Yes. Okay, let's take the Oldham penalty incident, for example. Yes, it probably was a penalty. Did the referee mess up? Yes. But did he do it intentionally? I don't think he did. I just think he messed it.
I'd argue against that. And I'm not
He pointed at the spot. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, James, I'm not disagreeing with everything you're saying. But in that case, the bit that winds me up and where I think actually, there was a bit of piss taking. That's probably the nicest way to put it. Points to the spot and then seems to want to do this ballerina dance and then just walk away. So either, if that's the case, then it's either a penalty, or if not, he's got to book the player for diving, and he did neither. So to me, that's a referee that's out of his depth, and either at best has lost control, or at worst has clearly got it in for us, because that was blatant gamesmanship by the referee.
I think now this is my personal opinion rather than professional ex-referee.
You won't be on next week, you know that.
Then yes, it's just incompetency.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that too loudly, but it's just not being able to make that correct decision that should be made.
The big decisions.
It's that.
But then, I mean, again, some of the other things, James, and again, obviously just going back to like a couple of seasons and things that we've seen over the years, but that Wrexham goal was our goal against Wrexham that bulged in the side of the net and was carried and of play on. I am sorry, But a blind man, and I no disrespect here, but a blind man would have seen that. I'm not exaggerating. It was obvious to everyone, the lino, the crowd, the camera people.
Yes.
What I don't get, and this is something I think, when they do it in the Premier League and they go, right, go to the TV and watch it back. Why can't we have some sort of goal line? I'm not saying VAR, but I'm just saying you cannot tell me in this day and age, in the EFL, that you can't have some sort of, where the referee's buzzes, it went over the line.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And technology, yes.
The referee and the line, it's not just the referee, because the linesman was at fault against the Barrow with that goal, which should have gone. He was, everyone was shouting at the ref. It was actually the liner that let us down on that one. So I don't think it's just a ref. It's the whole standard of the linesman and the referee, not all, but in the main, that we're seeing time and again in League One and League Two. So my argument, and again, I think the same as Sam's, is why have we not got professional refs? And I go back to my point. If a game is televised, why is a ref that is full-time suddenly put in? Because that tells you there's clearly no confidence in the refs that we've got who are part-time. And if that's the case, then that's everything wrong with football. It's the same as the argument about fit and proper people managing and owning clubs. We hear these arguments time and again, and we just hear empty words from the EFL and the FA.
And the thing that pisses me off more than anything is the EFL says, don't slag the refs off. You can't.
What?
They can't. You can't. If a referee's made a contentious decision, you're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to run the referee down. It's rubbish.
And
they should be accountable.
Yeah, they should be. Cole. And it's the thing about, we've rescinded a card after a game on reflection. Do you know what? If that's the case, can we rescind goals and change scores then if we've reviewed it on a thing? Come on.
Mate, we're talking here multi-million pound. Multi-million pound.
Exactly my point. Yeah. And like, I'm sorry, James, I don't disagree with you in the main, but there are certain clubs that get decisions and there are certain clubs who don't get decisions. And I think we fall on the ones
who we've seen that before. If you look at the VAR thing in the Premiership, you see the teams that do well out of it and the teams that do poorly out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is the way.
It can't be any bloody coincidence, surely.
Well, Wrexham for me are one that always seem to get decisions, no matter what league they're in. And again, I'm sorry, you see it. It's blatant. It's blatant.
Yeah. It's very, very clear that in this country, refereeing standards need to improve. But at grassroots level, you have got leagues crying out for referees.
100%.
But I mean, this is a different issue altogether. Why are there no referees? Because they're getting assaulted, abused at grassroots level. So there are no referees coming through or wanting to come through.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree, James. But I think it's one of those things. If you're going to invest the money in it and actually pay people to do the job and actually train them properly, you'd probably see a lot more people coming in. You'd probably see a lot of the abuse die down because a lot of fans would realise that they're professional and they're being paid to do a proper job. And also the technology. And again, I hate VAR personally. I think it's a waste of blimmin' time and it spoils the game. That's my view. But if it's good enough for the Premier League, why is it not good enough for the rest of the professional leagues?
Well, in my opinion, there isn't enough money coming down the pyramid. So a lot of these money should be coming out of the Premiership to support the lower leagues down to EFL2, where we do have like goal line technology and things like that. I'm not saying VAR, but certainly goal line technology, because I mean,
it's unforgivable, Cole, to not have something. Again, I've seen it where they got. I think the Championship have got it as well, but their arm buzzes to say it's gone over the line.
Yeah, they've got a watch on. Yeah.
As a minimum, that should be a thing. Now, whether it's offside is a different story. But I'm sorry, that Wrexham goal as an example would have been proven to be over the line. If we'd have won that game, that season I'm not saying would have, but could have turned out very differently. That was the fine margins.
Yeah, indeed.
I think another point I want to make as well.
Oh, you mentioned hurry up.
Assistant referees.
Yeah.
They are all told different instructions by the referee. For example, some referees will say flag for a foul, even if it's in between the touchline and the edge of the penalty area, you are flagging for a foul. Some referees say, no, leave it all to me.
Yeah, I know. I don't agree with that.
So
I hate this thing where the lino can't decide which way it's in or out until the referee signal. What a load of rubbish.
That's a load of rubbish.
What a load of rubbish.
Have your own mind.
But that is
not
the
in- not in
referee
my
making
day.
the decision.
Not
And
in
that's
my
what
day.
Lino has been told that game, I would assume.
Matt's point here is quite funny because he said like Wrexham get all the decisions because it's good for their Disney series, and it's hard to argue. I'm not saying it is. Obviously, no one's saying that they're corrupt, but you know, at the same time, you do question it.
I'm
You do,
empty.
you know, because as you say, a lot of the decisions go certain clubs' ways, and it feels like that. Whether you can prove it's a different story, but it's ironic, isn't it? They do that, and then Sunderland, till I die, got promoted to the Premier League. There's no season about that. Ironic, right? In terms of the two series. Anyway, any comments on Facebook? Obviously, I know we've done a lot on the YouTube. Any comments on the referees on Facebook? I'm sure Mr. Ashley would have done some.
Ashley has said goal line technology should be at all Football League grounds, and I agree, because that is an easy fix. That is a
100%.
buzzer to watch.
Yep.
It's a goal. There's no arguing.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle.
Correct. Is that it?
That's it so far.
That's
yeah.
it.
Right.
There we go.
We've been on 2 hours, so I think we better call it a day, don't you?
Well, yeah, exactly. On
Yeah.
that controversial bombshell from Ashley. There we go. But no, look,
Well,
thank you, Ashley. And again, can I just say before we finish up, thank you to everyone that's taken the time to comment tonight. Really appreciate the interaction. As I say, we always do this every week. Don't take ourselves too seriously, as our strapline has been from day one: for the fans, by the fans, with the fans. Don's Unplugged.
There you go. And we'll be back next week, show 41.
Well, before we go,
previewing-
Jordan's comment: maybe we need a Netflix series for better decisions.
Oh, why not us three?
Yeah, Franchise Foundations Season 1. There we are.
Yeah. Well, like I say, we'll be back next week. We've got the Newport
We will.
preview. We've also got we'll be looking at the two games we talked about tonight. Cheltenham and Town on Saturday and Crawley on Tuesday. Before I call the my usual little saying, I'll say, get your asses down to Crawley and support the lads. Get your asses down to Crawley. You know, I want to see that again. We deserve to give them pain.
And if we do, Luke Payne will be reviewing it for us.
Yeah,
after.
pain to review the pain. So then, James, say goodnight.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Aidan.
Good night, Aidan.
Take care. We'll see you Saturday
See you
and
Saturday.
Tuesday.
And
See you
Tuesday.
Saturday, guys.
Come on, you
Come on,
dons.
you dons.
See you soon, guys.
See ya.